Would you like to school in Italy? There are scholarships currently available for bachelor's, master's, and PhD program from leading universities in Italy. For example, the University of Pisa. Yes, Pisa, not pizza. Anyways, we have from leading universities in Italy, we have good scholarship. We're going to talk about the DSU scholarship and the many benefits it covers. But one criteria to keep in mind for this scholarship is one criterion is, are you from a low income household? If you're from a low income household and you're looking for bachelor scholarship, master's or PhD, then this scholarship is for you. There are other eligibility criteria that you would also need to pay attention to, and I would explain it bit by bit in this video. If you're meeting me for the first time, my name is Brendo. I am a doctoral student here at the University of Strathclyde, and I receive full funding for my program. And that helped me to see that you don't always have to be the best. You just have to be intentional. You have to be deliberate. Now, let's jump into the video. So we're looking at the DSU scholarship, and like I said, many leading universities in Italy offers this. But for example, we want to start with Università di Pisa. I don't know, I don't speak Italian, so we just go on. And it has several benefits, okay? We're going to talk about this. But before we look at this, let's look at the main agency in charge of the scholarship. You can actually translate this. I think I looked at it on Microsoft Copilot, and it says it's Regional Agency for the Right to University Education. All right, so this is the main agency in charge of the scholarship, and this is where you would also need to submit your application. So let's just look at it briefly to get some key details, and then we'll go to one university to see how to apply for the scholarship. Well, who can assess the scholarship? Students regularly enrolled for bachelor's, master's degree, or even research doctorate can apply for this program. And remember, it will specify the economic requirement. Like I mentioned in the intro, if you're from low income household, you can apply to this scholarship. Okay. Now, you should know that the application starts from the 15th of July 2025 up until 5th of September 2025. Okay, and it's for bachelor's, master's, or single cycle master's degree programs. The second batch would be from 25th of September till the 14th of November 2025, but that would be for doctoral and specialized courses. So you should take note of that. Let's look at the benefits of this scholarship. Applying for scholarship can sometimes be time consuming and frustrating. I can tell you that because I've been there before. But it doesn't always have to be this way if you have someone guide you through the application process. And that is why I'm here. I secured two full funding for my program and I had to select the best. So I know what it is like to search for scholarships. And I've been guiding a number of students to secure full funding for their programs as well. Take, for example, Bless. Bless wants to apply for a Masters by Research program, and when I reviewed her work in a one-to-one session with her, I gave her tips on how to improve her chances to secure this scholarship. In another meeting I had with Emmanuel, I helped him to also search for tailored scholarship, tailored to him particularly, and offered guidance on how to submit this application. Now, both of them are working on the feedback to submit strong applications. So if you're interested in the one-to-one session, my calendar is open. You can book a one-to-one session, and then I can guide you in submitting strong applications. It covers annual scholarship. Well, we'll look at it. I would explain this later. But for payment, now something to keep in mind. It's important to pay attention here. Something to keep in mind is the scholarship is only for a year, which means you're only awarded the scholarship a year. So which means if you apply for bachelor's, which of course is 3 years, you'd have to repeat the application every year. So you get the award for the first year of your program. By the end of your first year, you have to apply for the scholarship again to receive the award for the second year. For master's degree, which will be 2-year program, as often the case in Italy, you would also need to apply for this twice. So here we have it. It says for the first year of bachelor's degree and single cycle master's degree, you get the first installment and then you get the second installment as long as you meet the merit requirement. For first year of master's degree, it's also the same thing if you meet the merit requirement and you have to complete the program. That's just something to keep in mind. Okay, and for you to apply to the scholarship, you have to click on the online procedure. And if you do that, it brings you here. And then you just create in a login detail. So you can just create in a new one here. I don't want to do that. You can go ahead and do that. So now let's look at a university. Okay. So University di Pisa, okay, and then we'll look at it. So students can apply for this by the agency, which was this part we started from. This is the agency. Sorry, I don't want to pronounce that. The grant includes free accommodation, which is good. Free meals at the university dining halls, which is awesome. I mean, who wouldn't like Italian pizza? And then contribution to cover extra expense like sporting activities and books, and then exemption from university tuition fees. Beautiful scholarship, isn't it? And now who can apply? Well, students planning to enroll or already enrolled at a degree program at the university. And the same thing applies to other universities as well. So you can check. But for the case study in this video, we're looking at University de Pisa. Okay. The application requirement, you would have to create an online account. So this Portello student, I checked the meaning and it basically means student desk. So you have to create as a new student, you have to create in a new one, but you can create that here. Remember, log in with SPID, blah, and then you can come here and log in with that. But like I said, I did not create that. You can go ahead and do that. Now, for foreign students, now this is another part I need you to pay attention. Okay. For foreign students, students from Africa and students, as long as you're a non-EU student from developing countries, there are things you need to pay attention to. Number one, students coming from non-EU developing countries have to certify that they do not belong to a high income and high status family. Key, do not belong to a high income and high status family. And to do that, you would need to get the certificate from the Italian diplomatic representative in your home country. In my own case, that would be Nigeria, and then diplomatic representative body, either embassy or consulate at the country of origin in Italy. But now let's talk about the one for Nigeria. Okay, so for example, I would have to go to the Italian embassy in Abuja in Nigeria. So I searched for it on Google. So depending on where your home country, of course, for depending on your home country, just go to Google and type the Italian embassy or the Italian consulate in your country. And this is the Italian, okay, this is not, this is just an info page anyways. So you look at the address and then these are the opening times. They are closed on Saturday and Sunday, but they're open other days. That's for the embassy. And then you can call to know the required documents to get the certificate. Because you don't just need the certificate, you also need it legalized. So you might need to call them or send an email to find out what documents are required before you go there, unless you want to go there and find out that information. You can also search for the Italian Consulate General in Lagos and then visit that. So if you live in Abuja, you live in Lagos or somewhere close, you can do just that. Okay. Now let's go back to that. Please remember the certificate has to be legalized by the Italian Prefettura, okay? Which means get the certificate and have it legalized there at the embassy or by the representative body. All right. For non-EU students, of course, another one, you're required to submit all documents translated into Italian language. That is if necessary, but sometimes you don't have to. As long as you have the document in English too, it's fine. And according to the International Provision on Legalization regarding family status, income, real estate, and movable assets, you can find out more information here, but nothing too serious. These are things you can do. And then you go ahead to apply for the scholarship. Please take note, it starts from mid-July, which is July 15, as we've seen here. July 15, and then the deadline is 5th of September 2025. Now, this will be for programs starting in 2026, I would assume. Okay. Now, let's say, for example, we want to apply to a program in the Università di Pisa. We'll just come here and click on study. When you click on study, it brings you here. But remember, this is different from the application portal for the scholarship itself, okay? So you click on study and then you find different programs, but we're looking for programs, or study programs. So when you click on study programs, it brings you here. This is study programs. And you're looking for programs particularly taught in English, unless you speak Italian, which is great and awesome, then you can do all this. But for programs taught in English, we just have to click programs taught in English, and then it brings you here. On programs taught in English, there are many for courses held in English, single courses, degree programs, bachelor's, master's, 1 year or PhD program, and you can look at all of these individually. I've opened some of them. So these are their PhD programs. They don't have a lot of, there are several, but and a lot of English teaching programs or programs taught in English language, I beg your pardon. These are the PhD programs. So you can look at them one after the other, depending if you want to apply for a PhD program. For bachelor's program, I think there are several programs taught in English. Just bear with me a moment. I thought I saw more than this. Bachelor's program, bachelor degree programs. Oh, it seems to be just these two. But this, remember, these are faculties. So bachelor degree in humanities, you have cultural studies, you have philosophy, you have history, and this. So you want to check this depending on what you want. And then for master's program, I don't know what happened to my system. I'm sorry for the glitch if you noticed anything. For master's program, I found this video very insightful. It teaches you how to apply for your master's degree taught in English. It gives you the step-by-step guide. There are just 6 steps and you can watch it. It is really cool. And for master's program, there are different master's degree program, master in artificial intelligence and data engineering, cybersecurity, informatics for digital health. So you can watch this video, you can check each of them to know the requirements. Say, for example, I've opened one, which is the master in economics. It's a 2-year master's degree program completely taught in English. Okay, completely taught in English. So you can check the study full program, the admission requirement, and look at it here. It says 25, 26 applications are open. Wow, that is quite interesting. Usually by this time, many would have closed, but it's still open and the scholarship is still open. So that is how you apply to the scholarship. Remember, you apply to the program, and while applying to the program, while waiting for your enrollment, you can also apply to the scholarship. So do not sleep on this, guys. Go ahead and apply for this scholarship, and all the best in your scholarship pursuit.